Bonjour à tous les amis et bienvenue sur After Fight. Je me présente à nouveau Nathan Rochefort, étudiant en deuxième année d'école du journalisme à Nice et journaliste chez After Fight. Et aujourd'hui, invité exceptionnel, nous recevons Merle Christine, journaliste allemande qui détient le média Fightology, qui a côtoyé Alex Pereira-Hill et qui a interviewé de nombreux combattants UFC. Et aujourd'hui, avec Merle, on va échanger autour de la carte de l'UFC 300, dont le main event vient d'être dévoilé. Donc voilà, on va essayer d'analyser cette carte, de la comparer avec celle de l'UFC 299 pour savoir laquelle des deux est la meilleure au final. Donc j'espère que vous allez apprécier l'échange qui sera en anglais. Donc je vous invite à activer les sous-titres. Si c'est le cas, n'hésitez pas à mettre un petit retour en commentaire, un petit like. Ça fait toujours plaisir. Bon
from Fightology, and I'm happy to be here with After Fight from France, because today Germany and France will meet here and discuss some nice fight cards from the UFC.
Hello guys, happy to see you. I'm Nathan Rochefort and it's an honor to be with Christine today.
Yeah, so I think we have to talk about UFC 299 because it's very important for France, and we have to talk about UFC 300 as well. So today we will compare these two fight cards.
Exactly. We've got the both sides to study today, and we have the French opinion and your German opinion, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, I think so too. So you want to start with UFC 299 or what do you prefer?
Maybe I can start by saying that for French people, like this card is maybe the best of the year already. We are completely hyped by this card. We want to see our God of War Benoît Saint-Denis, which is one of the face of the MMA in France. I think this year he made an incredible 2024 year by beating Matt Fribola by knockout, winning at the UFC Paris, and with these 4 wins in 1 year. And I think that all these cards, the 299, it's a massive and impressive card. So we are hyped by this moment.
Yeah, I have to say I don't want to say more hyped for UFC 299, but it's an awesome card. So it's so hard for the UFC to get a bigger hype for UFC 300 because, like you mentioned, Dustin Poirier will meet Benoît Saint-Denis, and I'm a big fan of Benoît. I met him in person. He's such a nice guy, and his trainer is awesome. Yeah, his trainer is just awesome. So his fighting style is like, wow. His last knockout was like shocking the MMA world. And I'm so curious, what is your prediction? What do you think is his fight strategy for the fight against Dustin Poirier?
So first of all, we have to say that Benoît is actually in Bulgaria to train, to have a training camp for his fight with his coach Daniel Warren, which had coached in the past Anderson Silva. So they're doing some great job in Bulgaria to prepare this fight. He had some great sparring partners. I'm living Nice actually, and he came with him. There are 2 great fighters, which are Ilyes Giroun and Baris Adigouzel, and he had a lot of amateur fighters which are in Bulgaria to train with Benoît. So I think that Benoît is a little bit favorite in this fight, but be careful of Dustin. He's an impressive fighter who defeats 2 times Conor, and it's danger for Benoît.
For sure, and for sure he's a more experienced guy. Poirier has like 29 wins, so that's an amazing number.
Yeah.
But more UFC in Europe. So I can tell you the German MMA community, I think, is going with Benoît as well.
Oh, and, I didn't know this. This is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we want more UFC events in Europe, and that means we need more UFC fighters in the rankings, good UFC fighters. So Benoît, for sure, is one of these guys who can push the UFC in Europe. Okay. So what do you think about Michael Page against Kevin Holland?
Michael Page, it's a huge fighter that he was in the PFL. We saw him as a French fans. We were praying that he would fight against Cédric Doumbé, at the PFL Dublin. They did face-to-face. But, this convinced Dana White to sign him in the UFC. And I think that Kevin Holland is a great opponent for him.
Yeah, for me too. I'm so hyped to see him in the UFC finally. Kevin Holland, awesome fighter, very experienced guy. But he has a lot of losses as well. So against Michael Page, who is 0,
Yeah,
12,
for the
0.
moment, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. This fight is amazing. And I mean, like, to combine, you know, like fighters from the PFL
Yeah.
and now switching to the UFC, all this is always very interesting. We have to talk about the main fight. So,
Yeah, this is impressive. Cheeto against O'Malley. This is the revenge. The only person who defeats O'Malley is back. It's Cheeto Vera, and this is going to be a huge fight too. Yeah.
Tell me your prediction.
Yeah, I think that you know, like Merab Djashvili, he will say that this in this funny video, you know, he predict the future of this category, and I think that Cheeto is going to defeat O'Malley, and then maybe we will see a Merab for the belt, and be careful of him. He did a great fight this weekend against Henry Cerudo. He win by a decision, and I think that maybe Cheeto's gonna win, but behind this there is Merab who is waiting for the belt.
I totally agree. I go 100% with Cheeto. I'm a big fan of Cheeto. I love his aggressive fighting style. And man, maybe we can expect a knockout. I don't know,
Maybe.
but it's possible. Cheeto can knock out O'Malley for sure. Obviously, O'Malley is like a talent, you know. He's so talented. But we saw, not yesterday, Saturday actually, Volkanovski against Topuria. We saw talent for sure. Topuria is talented as well, but he's a hardworking guy, and Cheeto is a hardworking guy as well.
Yeah.
So for me, like, hard work always beats talent, and Cheeto is like dedicating his life to the sport now. At the moment,
completely.
he wants this belt, so I'm going with Cheeto as well. And Meta would be a nice fight afterwards.
Yeah, I love him so much, and I think he's going to be a good contender for the belt. But on the O'Malley side, on this fight against Cheeto, I think that the problem is that it's O'Malley who's got the more pressure than Cheeto, because he has the belt on him. And when you got the belt, when you're the champ, you got more pressure on you. And we know that the UFC wants him to be a superstar, but I don't know if he has the capacity to keep this pressure and to advance. And I think that Cheeto has no pressure and nothing to lose, and he's going to do an impressive fight.
And a big point is as well that he already lost to Cheeto. So like, the mental point, like, is a big point, a big fact. And I don't know if O'Malley can handle this pressure mentally, like fighting against a guy for his title he lost already to. I don't know. So I'm going with Cheeto 100%.
Yeah, this is going to be a top striking fight, maybe, because the both got an impressive boxing, and I want to see this fight so much.
Yeah, and as well, like, there are still 2 more fights. We have Gilbert Burns and we have Peter Yan on this fight card as well. 2 amazing fighters. So that's what I said. Like, UFC 299 is just a banger. So with Peter Yan and Gilbert Burns, it's like banger. Wow. Yeah, it's like every fight is like, wow. Don't sleep, guys. Don't sleep during this card. You can't sleep, man.
Yeah, and you talk about Gilbert Burns. He will be on this main card too for an amazing fight against Maddalena, which is an Australian fighter in the welterweight division. What is your prediction for this fight?
Actually, I can't tell you a lot about Maddalena. I don't know him very well.
Yeah.
But Gilbert Burns is like he's coming from he's a monster, but he's coming from an injury. So we have to see how he recovered. But if he is well recovered and his preparation went well, I'm sure he will win.
Yeah, and in a world where he defeats Maddalena, which can be the next opponent for Gilbert Burns? I don't know, because he has to win again.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I think he will focus on this fight now, but a next opponent, like, you know, there were always all these discussions, and he was fighting against Masvidal, and like, now he was injured. So I think there's no prediction to make. Like, it's so hard to predict.
Yeah, on the same side, on some Brazilian fighters, I'm thinking about Curtis Blades and Almeida. This is another great fight on the heavyweight division that we are going to see on this card, and I'm so hyped for this fight because maybe if Almeida win, he will be against Cyril Gane, our French icon, French fighter, and this will be a great fight for Cyril if Almeida wins again Curtis Blades.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm so curious if, like, when will Cyril Gane fight again? Because there are some rumors that he's in fight camp.
Yeah, he's a fight camp with some kickboxing and grappler fighters, and he's at the MMA factory in France. But maybe he would like to fight against Thomas Pinal, like in the 300. There were some rumors about this fight, but nothing happened because there is the Pereira against Jamal Hill fight in the main event. So we don't know the future for Cyril, but he has to stay active, So this could be a great fight.
True. Yeah, that's true. So that was a good point. Let's switch to UFC 300. So
Yeah.
First of all, I think we have to speak about the main event because they published it yesterday. They announced it yesterday. What is your opinion? What was your first impression when you heard it's Pereira against Hill?
It was 7 a.m. I was going to go in my bed, and I see this banger from Dana White announced. And since 2 months in France and all over the world, there were a lot of theories about like Islam, about Hamzat, about Leon. Maybe you see that Leon were proposed 3 fighters, and he accepted the 3. And I had a lot of theories, and in my mind it will maybe be like I was thinking about maybe to see Islam against to see Belal against Leon maybe, or Adesanya against Pereira for the 3rd one. But when I see this announced, I was completely shocked, and I can't wait to see this fight.
Oh, so actually you're not disappointed?
A little bit, because Jamal is a great fighter. He's a 6 win, 1 loss and 1 non-contest, but we didn't see him since more than 1 year, and we don't know in his shape. He defeats Glover Teixeira for the lightweight belt, but we don't know his shape of the moment. And Pereira, yeah, I can't wait to see Pereira again. He did an amazing fight against Yeri, and I think he can have his belts again. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I'm so curious because I was disappointed because of personal reasons. No, just because everybody was expecting like a McGregor or a GSP or like something huge, some UFC legends. And I mean, both of them are amazing fighters, but it's like wanted to see a McGregor, we wanted to see a GSP or something like this as a main event. As a co-main event, I would be totally fine with it. But as a main event, and as well, a big point is like, just imagine like Pereira against Hill in Rio, May 4th.
Or 301.
301, doing the revanche for Glover Teixeira, who lost his belt. No, not his belt, but he lost like the title fight, against Hill in Brazil. And then he's coming and doing the revenge in Brazil.
But even if he's in the 300, don't escape this possibility of your mind, because he announced and everybody talks about it. He could be on the 300 and on the 301. Everybody is saying that on Twitter and internet. I don't think this could be possible because you can do a preparation in 3 weeks. But people are still thinking that it could be on the 301 card.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think these are rumors in the internet, But to be honest, we all know Jamal Hill. So obviously,
okay, so he's good.
Jamal Hill is coming from an injury, but he's a hard opponent. He has 12-1. His record is 12-1. So he didn't lose a lot of fights. And the people are underestimating Jamal's boxing skills and his ground game. So at the end, he's not a type of guy who gets knocked out and just like.
Yeah, but be careful. We still have something to say. It's that Dana White still got one fight to announce. You know, he talked about a super fight in a press conference last week, and we can still have some possibility. Who do you see? What is the surprise at Dana White, you think?
For me, the surprise would be Cyril Gane against Tom Espinal.
For super fight?
Yeah.
For the super? Okay. This would be great.
Yeah, this would be awesome.
Is that a super fight for you? I'm not sure of that.
Yeah,
this could be the main event, but now it's impossible. But a super fight.
And because it's an interim belt, so they wanted a main event for like real belt, you know. So I think it's a super fight. I think it's an amazing fight. I would love to see it. Actually, I'm more hyped for Tom against Cyril Gane than Pereira against Hill.
Okay, that is an interesting point. But what do we have to respond to the French fans and the fans all around the world who think that the 300 card is disappointing, is something bad, and that the 299 is moreover good than this one?
Yeah, so let's focus on some other fights, because for me, the best fight on this card is for sure Charles Oliveira against Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah.
This fight will be a banger. This fight will be fight of the night. And all the other guys, they can go home, because Charles and Arman, they will deliver a super fight, because both are amazing in striking. Both has a high fight IQ. And on the ground, man, we don't have to talk about Charles.
My still fighter, on the ground.
And Arman is training in Russia with all this crazy wrestlers. So I can tell you, this fight will be a banger. And I'm sure this is a better main event. Obviously, it's not a belt. That's why it can't be a main event.
Right. And the conditions of this fight are crazy. Arman is training in the mountain, in the high altitude, to get a better cardio. And we know that Charles wants his belt absolutely. And he's going to do a war to get it and to have a title shot again.
Right. So for me, this is the fight I want to see. Like from the moment they announced it, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, I want to see this fight. So I'm pretty hyped for this one. I'm hyped for Prochaska as well. I want to see Prochaska in action again. Like he spoke, against Rakic. He spoke about his last fight, right? That he was not healthy. He was not healthy against Pereira. So obviously it's not an excuse, because Pereira did an amazing job. But I'm very curious for Prochaska to see him back, because I love his fighting style. I think he's a very inspiring character, you know, like a samurai. So I'm happy to see him on the card, and for sure the legend Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje. And it's nice to see Holloway now. Holloway, to see Holloway now, because we saw Topuria. See what's happening there. Justin Gaethje, Holloway, and now Topuria, the new champion. So a lot of stuff is going on.
I've got an idea for the next thing for Topuria. Imagine if he goes in the football stadium in Madrid, the Santiago Bernabeu, for like the UFC 305 maybe, and against Holloway in this amazing stadium. This will be crazy.
This will be crazy, and for Europe it would be awesome, for France, for Germany, for all these countries here, because for us it's so close. Spain is so close, right?
Completely.
Yeah. So it would be amazing for us to have this fight going on. And what is your prediction, Holloway or Justin Gaethje?
I think that Gaethje is in a better shape than Max Holloway. Max Holloway is 100% a legend of the division, but you know, he's in the UFC since a lot of years, and I think that Gaethje is more in shape, and he's going to have the title shot against Islam maybe. This will be crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Gaethje, it's like, you know, I was talking about it on my channel and in some other podcasts, you know, every era comes to an end. And sometimes it's just like coming to an end, you know, like Holloway was amazing. He's still amazing. But I think Justin Gaethje, it's his time now, and he's going for the title, you know. So And
he had so many injuries Holloway. I don't know in which shape he is going to do. But I had a question for you. I was thinking about it. You know, on the Pereira preparation, like on his training camp, in which way he's going to train to fight Jamal Hill against the boxers, against the grapplers? Do you have some ideas?
I think he's he's always training with different guys. I mean, he has Glover Teixeira, you know. He has a lot of good wrestlers in his team. I don't know who he has now in his fight camp. I don't know who he's bringing to his fight camp, but against Jamal, he needs a good boxer. He needs a good boxer for sure, you know. So yeah, but if I could give him some advice, give him the advice to work on his ground game, you know.
Okay.
But I won't say anything more about it. And yeah, that's it. But Jamal, actually, I don't know if Jamal is like is working good on the ground. I don't know how good is his ground game.
But you know, he's in the BJJ team, so maybe he's going to do some stuff on some work on the ground, and he's going to improve his ground level. So Pereira has to be careful about it.
Yeah, and like I told you, you know, I think Jamal, it will be hard for Jamal for sure to win. Okay, we don't have to discuss it, but Jamal is a different kind of fighter. He can take so many punches. He was fighting with a broken arm, you know, so it's like a different mentality because he's coming from the real ghetto as well. So it's a different mentality. So this is the only thing, like you can't finish Jamal like this. So you have to work a lot to finish him or to knock him out. So this is something, But who you are going with? What do you think? Who wins?
If I have to give my honest opinion, even though you said a lot of good arguments for Jamal Hill, I still think that Pereira is going to knock out him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible for sure. It's possible for sure. But everybody thought this about the second Izzy fight as well. And then we saw what happened.
Everybody wants a third fight in this amazing trilogy, and I will pray that this happen again. But I had a question about this side on the Pereira preparation. Like when you saw it training in the past, did he put like sometimes some knockout in the training? Tell me about his training in Brazil.
No, never. No, never.
And how does he train his training power, like his knockout power? How do we train this?
The knockout power, man, it's just training. It's just repeating the same punches every time, always, you know. And he has a good genetic. That's a big part as well, you know. Like he's very strong. But that's it, like repeating the same punches a lot of time. So I think that's a big point. A lot of fighters they think they have to practice crazy punches, you know, crazy technique all the time. But it's not about this. It's about what Bruce Lee is saying, like doing the same kick for 100 or 1,000 times. That's what makes you good in something, you know. So I think that's a little bit the recipe. But yeah.
Amazing fight. So that's it for me. I think we said all we have to say about these two crazy cards. So do you have some pronostic to say me about the Pereira against the Jamal Hill fight?
It's so hard, you know. It's so hard. I will give a prediction. Video.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your answers, Christine.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you today.
Yeah. And see you soon.
See you soon too. I'm doing like the outro. Bon les amis, c'est la fin de ce podcast sur After Fight. J'espère que vous avez apprécié l'échange avec Christine, donc journaliste allemande qui s'y connaît admirablement bien autour de l'UFC et qui détient la chaîne, le podcast Fightology. Je vous invite à la suivre ici. Je vais vous mettre le podcast juste ici. Et voilà, n'hésitez pas à vous abonner et à mettre un petit retour en commentaire. Bonne journée.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi.